Another you and Ray pick. We saw a lot of you and Ray in Division 1. And looks like we're getting even more here.
All right, and so Plantuyy on the right side of our playing field is going to be repping the Tetris. Meanwhile, on Will's side of things, is going to be playing with that typical freestyle Puyo that we've seen already. That's off chain a little bit early. It's going to be a 4-chain.
Yeah.
But still sending roughly a Tetris's worth of garbage onto Plantuy's current board.
Looks like Plantuy's approach is to just play sprint, try and get garbage on.
Oh wait, they're locked
Will's
off.
board as quickly as possible.
Oh, okay. They need to be really careful they don't get locked off.
It's going to get locked off with that incoming garbage, though.
Yeah, and the spike there from Plantuyy, a really tall column for, like, especially when one of those columns, either 2 or 4, gets a bit too tall for the incoming garbage. It can be really, really tricky to keep playing around that because, like, you have to essentially manage that portion of your stack and make sure it's not in danger of topping out. But usually that also means you have to make some sort of a compromise on your board at the same time. All right, only a 2-chain to start here from Willtedpetals. And I think this one is a 2 as well.
Yeah.
We're kind of just in a maintenance
No
phase,
big
I'd
chains.
say. Oh, the yellows get cut off.
Unfortunately, yeah. Ooh, really trying to find something here, but Plantuy's starting to put in some aggression.
Yeah, waiting that garbage out, at least going to be able to clear through with some of the yellows, but these resources are dwindling fast, and you can see Plantuyy
not a lot of room to work with, and that is just going to be the end. Yeah, it looks like Plantuy's approach is to just like play fast and kind of shut Will out of being able to make any chains.
All right, once again, Plantuyy going with the 6-3, especially for I think what we saw with our Division 1 matches. Tended to work out a little better.
There's a bit of a main chain, going into the main chain a bit here.
This is all the resources, though. Yeah. Will's going to have to be really careful because they're going to be accepting a lot of garbage as Plantuyy keeps stacking up. And the more that they have to form these pair splits, there's going to be a lot less time to work around this Tetris build, and they're starting to get
that's gonna be really dicey. But it starts to work out here.
Oh, 3?
Nice 3, but unfortunately the rest of that chain not looking as flexible. Just needs a green, and it's coming right now.
There's the 3 as well.
Yeah, just really relying on being able to stay alive long enough for margin time to kick in. Which, for Galactic League, is 32 seconds.
There we go. We do see another...
And then we're going to be seeing a nice 4-chain here. Going to be seeing some garbage on Plantuy's board. If Will can keep this aggression going, then it's going to be... Then this should be enough garbage to just prevent Plantuyy from doing anything more effectively.
Yeah, that gets perfectly neutralized, but as we noticed from yesterday, any sort of time where no garbage is getting sent over is likely going to work out in the Puyo player's favor.
Yeah. Tetris players kind of need to... Ooh, power...
That decision...
Ooh, that was really good. That was a really nice 4-chain. It was kind of hard for me to read because I'm not used to garbage.
Oh no, the T gets locked off and they use the
T gets locked off. Trying to find some form of down stacking here, but that's going to give Will enough room to send something extra, and that's going to be Will's first point.
Yeah, and especially once you get to a level of margin time where the singles start sending rows of garbage, I feel like usually for the Tetris player, in a lot of circumstances, especially with Willted doing a lot more splitting of the Puyos, which, again, doesn't seem like it'd be that big of a deal. But when you get to this level of, like T-spins and Tetrises, as well as, massive 4 or 5 power chains that are coming out of just every single interaction, every little difference can be the difference between an L and a W.
Yeah, there was a nice 5-chain from Will there. However...
Nearly all cleared.
Yeah, nearly, but not quite. And now there's nothing on the board for Will to work around with. Might be a little bit awkward trying to set up some chains here.
Okay, should
but
be
as
able
long
to
as Will can keep it going until margin time.
Okay, we at least get the 4 chain.
Yeah, solid 4 chain here. Gonna start seeing some garbage on Plantuy's board.
Plantuyy doing a fantastic job of keeping this clean stack.
Yep, and Plantuyy doing a bit of stalling just to cancel out some of that garbage. Those yellows are looking for a 4th. And there's another 3. Things working out extremely well. However, yeah, Will's board is kind of lacking the, in terms of chains. But this chain will trigger. Nice solid 4.
Oh, Plantuyy had a...
Yeah.
I think was going to try and
5-1.
counter as much of that as possible, but didn't have a lot of ability to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, alright. A little bit of a neutralize there.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot coming in here.
We are really getting up there in margin time.
There's quite a bit much, but... There's quite a...
Constantly a triple.
Ooh, yeah. And there's going to...
So I feel like Plantuyy is taking a little bit too much time trying to get this pressure out. Is at higher
Yeah,
levels of margin time.
trying to space out attacks right now to be strong, but like also not at a point where they're receiving garbage. But it's not really working out. Will has another trigger here on the green.
Oh wait! Oh, Wilton didn't get to it.
Oh no! There's the yellows.
Huge opening for Plantuyy.
Yeah, there's the yellows though. Like needs to.
Oh,
needs to trigger those blues. There's no room for those blues, is there? Oh, still technically. Oh no! Yeah, it's.
Wow.
Plantuyy finding the comeback there. It was definitely gonna be in Will's. That ball was definitely gonna be in Will's court, but.
Especially when
just
getting over
extending a little bit too much, I think.
Yeah, getting like that late into margin time, and as soon as Wilted lost the driver's seat, Plantuyy just took the reins and kept on tugging.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a little bit of a
power 4.
This is not a great stack for Plantuyy to tank garbage.
Yeah,
from.
no, and that garbage certainly isn't going to help either. There's a chance for some really good down stacking here, but it's not looking the best. And here's a nice chain that's about to start. Oh, look at that power 5. That's gonna be enough.
That should be a top out. Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. Good find from Will there. Plantuyy kind of getting unfortunate RNG there with the garbage. Not able to downstack the best.
Ooh, a little bit of a rough disrupt there on Plantuy's side, and that's going to give Wilted a bit of free reins to just start building on top of this.
This is building a sandwich? Interesting approach here. I wasn't expecting just... I suppose early on, though, it's just going to be, kind of just a normal chain. Especially since Plantuyy wasn't sending all that much.
Oh, this might get locked off.
Yeah, this is gonna be a bit sketchy.
Oh, tries to go.
Oh no, the purple. Real depending on those purples, but it was just not gonna work out. And the Ghost Rose, Ghost Rose not gonna help either.
Yeah, I feel like what we've definitely seen out of Plantuyy is there's not really a rush to get that early pressure off. Because Wilted hasn't been building 7, 8, or higher chains over a short amount of time, even if it's just been simple T-spin doubles. But as soon as Plantuyy is able to get that lockout where it's over sometimes 2 rows of garbage, so that there's no easy way to chain through it, just a little more pressure from him, Plantuyy is able to close everything out. Oh no, and the reds again. It's I feel like.
Ooh.
Oh no! Okay,
the yellows go into the main chain here.
This is
kind of saved here. That's going to be a lot of garbage incoming.
Only about
Plantuyy neutralizes a good chunk of it, though, enough to stay alive. We're gonna have to see what Will can do.
I think I was looking at looking for more purples to complete that right side. Not really too many options. And letting a couple of one chains go, but again, at this rate, you have to be really careful because just a couple of quick moments there from Plantuyy could very quickly make things dire. Another 2-chain able to counter with the help of margin time, but might not be always so fortunate. All right, I think it's going to be a 4-chain there from Wilted.
Yeah. It is. There's going to be quite a bit on Plantuy's board. Well into margin time now.
A little bit of a mishold with the eyepiece from Plantuy's side of things. 2-chain goes off. It's still able to counter. And I think blues might be the trigger, but the blues are getting cut off really quick.
Ooh, yeah.
Not able to get the red blue.
Things are looking rough. Things are looking a bit dire. Willtedpetals just stacking vertically there to clear as much garbage as possible.
Oh, that's too much.
He needs blues, but they're not coming.
A little bit too
another
late
point.
in the
This is gonna be one lengthy match.
Plantuyy once again we see going with the 6-3. It's been working out very well for them in this set. Alright, not entirely sure what Wilted's plan is to keep chaining through. I think the reds are going to be a trigger into potentially some yellows, but I don't know if they're going to connect at this rate. There's a little too much garbage. And that is a really rough break there. They're going to have to clear out either those yellows or those purples just to get to the garbage in time. They want to build a 2-chain on top. There you go. We can see the 2-chain able to build out into that main chain. And just going to let this
Oh, that's going to cut.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Things are looking a little dangerous here. Those yellows need to be dealt with.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, okay. There. Works perfectly here.
Just in the nick of time. That's going to be a 6-chain there from Wilted.
And that'll certainly be lethal.
Wilted picks up a third.
Very good. Very good stuff. Will's still behind, once, like in the match against Onamaru, but, you know, this gap is still pretty close.
Yeah, this might be quite a long round as both players having to take advantage of, obviously, that margin time comes in a little bit sooner at 32 seconds rather than the 96 defaults. But both players playing around it very specifically in order to arrive at their win conditions.
I have to say, the 96-second default is kind of crazy. I feel like that's far too long. And this is going to go into a nice chain. Kind of catching Plantuyy off guard a little bit. But Plantuyy counting to 4, getting the Tetris. Lots of garbage cleared with that power one.
All right, Kaiden into Tetris. So that's going to be trying to maximize as much out of that as they can.
Yeah, and they're going to
counter, and it's a neutralize. Oh, is that a drop? No? Question mark? Well, that one was, I think.
Ooh, things are looking a little scary here for Will. Needs some sort of trigger.
Again, these 2 chains are able to fend off a lot of these attacks, but Wilted needs to make sure they're still able to get some sort of long chain off at the end of things. Power 2 can get some extra momentum there.
Yeah, there's all.
Oh, the T-spin triple setup for Plantuyy.
Yeah. Plantuyy has a lot on the board right now. Will just needs to send something substantial in order to deal with the rest. There's still some Plantuyy starting to find a down stack here, and that's a lot incoming. Looking a bit scary for Will here.
2Chain does still send quite a hefty bit as we start to get into some really big margin time plays.
Yeah,
And that,
but
oh, we're gonna need more yellows.
Plantuyy is using that. Yeah, Plantuyy is using that knowledge and just playing as aggressive as possible around that time, knowing that if Will gets that chain off, it's the end for Plantuyy.
Yeah, especially once those T-spin doubles in that, I think we're starting to send over 2 lines of garbage to Wilted, even after like a 1-chain skim. As the Puyo player, like, yes, like margin time does work wonders, but again, with great power comes great responsibility. And if you're not too careful about that margin time, it could very well be your demise. And Plantuyy waiting on that S piece, basically had to go through an entire 2 separate queues to wait, get there in time. Ooh, a nice dono option as well. Still just kept this 6-3 stat going. The train does not stop at this station. And Wilted right now having a little bit of trouble.
Will's dealing with a lot right now. But, you know, thanks to margin time, able to neutralize all that incoming.
Alright, and we have, I believe, a 3-chain there from Wilted.
Yeah.
Finally,
and
a little bit of
a little bit more. And here's another 3.
Ooh, really nice dono there from Plantuyy, using both the L and J pieces.
Ooh, and here's a 4-chain from Will. Ooh,
oh,
this
no.
Esmus drop!
Oh, the attack came in, and I think there was a little bit of a latency in Plantuyy figuring out when that attack was going.
Yeah, and then this single in these power ones. Ooh, that chain cuts a little bit, but that's still quite a bit to deal with. Waiting, delaying those T-spins, delaying the garbage just so attacks can come to neutralize anything incoming. Will, however, doesn't necessarily get that kind of luxury.
Ooh.
Plantuyy is on the ropes right now. Needs to find probably something a little more aggressive, something more substantial.
Oh, that's going to be almost complete lock-off. Wilted has to be careful.
Wilted does have to be careful here. And
Oh,
more of
I
that.
don't like this.
Plantuyy finding the down stack too. That's going to be too much. Plantuyy starting to widen that gap a little bit.
And I definitely think, given how the last couple rounds have gone, it seems that Plantuyy is really taking advantage of that max margin time, because Will's having a little bit of difficulty finding these longer chains in the mix versus matchup. So as long as Plantuyy is able to stay alive through a really strong Tetris margin time multiplier, they can find a lot of pressure to do very strong amounts of damage on the Wilted board and get them into that kind of lockout phase.
That was a good extension from Will on that chain. But now there's a lot of garbage for Will to deal with.
Oh, but I feel like that lockout's kind of happening again.
This might be a complete lockout. Yeah.
Oh, no, they weren't able to get the yellow 1 second, unfortunately. Might have had a 2-chain in the wraps, but not in that case.
No, Plantuyy got that round done and over with. Widening the gap even more. It's 3-8 towards Plantuyy.
A little bit late on the purples there for Wilted. All right, 2-chain comes out from Wilted. The yellows are blocked off already. Able to at least get the 2-chain off, keep some resources alive. There's the 3, but that is all in on their resources. They don't have really anything else to fall back on. And so Plantuyy is able to kind of set these T-spins and Tetrises off at will.
Yeah. Oh goodness. Plantuyy just playing aggressive 6-3 sprint. Nice donation with that T-spin double.
You can see the extra combo play really adding up on this damage.
Ooh, and that's going to be column 3 garbage. Column 3 was stacked a little too high there. I see what Will was trying to go for, but that's going to be too much.
All right, we're resuming back to 6-3 sprint from Plantuyy.
Ooh, so close to an all clear from Will there.
But again, especially with how much Wilted is relying on splitting their Puyos and like, just because of, like, it doesn't seem like much, but the amount of time that's spent with those Puyos like falling down the column beyond just the soft drop speed really puts a damper. And I think that column
that's
might be
like
locked
out. That's locked out. Ugh.
Not able to access any resources on the right side of the board, and that is a one-way ticket to the top.
Yeah, Plantuyy now 5 points away from winning this.
Oh, almost had the 2-chain all clear. Decided not to go for it in that case. 1-chain pop. Column 6 does not get locked off, so they're going to send the full. Power 3 gets sent off.
Only sending a line of garbage there, but this is before margin time, so... Looks like the garbage kind of threw off a chain there.
Oh, and no purples!
Oh, no purples in sight. Ugh.
And that's been a good number straight from Plantuyy. Really feeling very confident with this 6-3 into mid-game playstyle. And realistically, where a lot of Tetris players have struggled to find an advantage state within, relatively easy margin time, Plantuyy seems to have found the answer here against Willtedpetals.
There's a nice power 3 into 4. Gonna be able to send a little bit over, but Plantuyy is gonna keep this this perpetual attack going. Perpetual pressure.
Looking for ways to continue the 6-3. But since there's very little garbage on the board, there's a lot more freedom that Plantuyy currently has. Lovely way to keep that donation alive. And that's
needs some greens. Gets them right there. Nice power, too.
We're alive.
That's going to be enough to cancel out the rest and retaliate. But not enough to, dig out and pop Plantuyy out.
Again, these 1-chains are not able to stop the... Like, at some point when you get further in margin time, sometimes the 1-chains can deal enough damage to counter, a couple of skims or sometimes an entire T-spin single. But before that point in time, like, you need to make sure that if you're expending your time on the 1-chains, you either know what time that's buying you and, working around it accordingly, or otherwise you're just going to have a couple of, really bad early top outs. Wilted needs to find a yellow right now, not able to get to it.
I think Wilted was really trying to extend something there, but I think greeted a little too hard.
Yeah, especially in this case, I feel like Wilted needs to... I don't know, I feel like just Wilted is not getting as much out of their chains as they can. They're relying a lot on these, 1s and 2s, whereas I feel like that can work at higher margin times, but just not this early. And unfortunately, unless they're able to stack,
it looks like this is gonna just be a top out.
Plantuyy just playing aggressively. They're taking it to match point already.
Will's gonna have to do a lot of shifting in gameplay in order to deal with this.
Oh, no misdrop there for double misdrop there for Plantuyy.
Plantuyy does have a lot of room to breathe and deal with any issues if they do pop up.
Yeah, I feel like Wilted's trigger is kind of getting covered up, and they rely a lot on these 1-chains to try and fix it. But because of how the garbage and that's going to be a very strong showing out of Plantuyy at losers quarterfinals, knowing very well how to work around the Puyo versus Tetris matchup, and they're going to book their way into our top 4, where they will be playing against Cold